Hello, this is session 8.2, Transportation Modes and Cost. This is part of your Basics e-learning suite, which is the first step in your CPIM certification journey. This session is brought to you by MGCM. What are the objectives of transportation? As defined by the Apex Dictionary, it's the function of planning, scheduling, and controlling activities related to mode, vendor, and movement of inventories into and out of an organization. There are 5 basic modes of transportation: rail, road, water, air, and pipeline. Each mode has its own cost and service characteristics, which we will explore further. Rail transportation is best available to move large quantities of bulky cargo over long distances inland. It provides less frequency of departure than trucks, provides good speed of transit over long distances, provides reliable service, provides flexibility in the types of goods carried, and is cheaper than road transportation for large quantities of bulky cargo. Road transportation has very low capital costs compared to rail, provides door-to-door service, provides fast and flexible service, is particularly suited for distribution of small volume goods to a dispersed market. Air transportation provides speedy service over long distances, uses passenger aircrafts as well as freight aircrafts, can go anywhere there is a suitable landing strip, has high cost, and is suitable for high-value, low-weight cargo and emergency items. Water transportation has low operating costs per ton mile, is slow and usually not door-to-door, is most useful for moving low-value bulky cargo over long distances where water routes are available. Pipeline transportation has low operating costs, is impervious to weather, can move large volumes continuously. Of course, it has very high capital costs. What are shipping costs? Shipping costs can be divided into 4 categories. They are line haul costs, which means they vary with the distances moved. Pickup and delivery costs, carriers charge for each pickup and the weight moved. Terminal handling costs, and these will depend on the number of times a shipment is handled, loaded, and unloaded. And finally, billing and collecting costs, where the paperwork must be completed every time a shipment is made. A brief intro into line haul costs. These include fuel, wages, wear and tear, and they depend on the distance moved and not the weight moved. How can we reduce transportation costs? To reduce transportation costs, one way would be to increase weight shipped to reduce line haul costs, or you could consolidate shipments to reduce terminal handling costs, pickup and delivery costs, and billing and collecting costs. Let's just examine carrier rates while we're looking at shipping costs. Based on the cost structure, carriers have 2 types of rates. One is based on full truckloads, or as we denote as TL. The other is based on less than full truckload or less than truckload, denoted as LTL. The rate charged by the carriers will also vary with the commodity shipped and will depend on the following: value, that means greater the value, the greater the carrier's liability; density, the denser the item, the greater the weight that can be carried on a given vehicle; perishability. Now, perishable goods often require special equipment and methods of handling. And finally, packaging, where the method of packaging affects the risk of damage and breakage. So this brings us to the conclusion of session 8.2, a quick recap of the learning objectives. We started off with the objectives of transportation. The different modes of transportation and their characteristics were looked into. The types of shipping costs, how to reduce transportation costs, and types of carrier rate structures. With this, we conclude session 8.2 on transportation modes and costs. We hope it's been able to shed some light into your basics preparation. This session is brought to you by MGCM.